Hey there everyone, so Sunny here, and as you can see, this is when the Duelist, this is a recording of when the Duelist Cup has already ended, and as you can see, this is my score using my Spiral deck. I have a total Duelist points of like 16,000, which in the ranking just put me just right within the top 5,000. Of course, I wasn't gonna be ranked very high because I don't have all the time in the world to play the Duelist Cup, but for the top 5,000, it's pretty not bad. Especially because on the Sunday when I was playing, I had, oh, it's not shown here, but basically I had a 10 game win streak, so that really brought up my score quite a fair bit. And it's all thanks to this version of the Spiral deck that I was using in Duelist Cup. So in the beginning of the Duelist Cup, while climbing to Duel level 20, I was just using the deck that I used for climbing up to Diamond 1, which was the one that had the Power 2 Braver Dragon, and the Spellcaster Village and all that kind of shenanigans, pretty long combo stuff. But going into Duelist Cup Stage 2, I had problems dealing with going second at one point. So, as in, like, I always lost the coin flip. So I thought of playing a more mid-range Spiral deck, and that's when I got into this deck, which I found, of course, from the courtesy of the Master Duel website. Of course, this deck doesn't run dangers, and it's a very thin deck with one Maxx, which if you have it in your hand, of course it's useful, but usually it's just a target for crossout designator, so it's just another way of eliminating Maxx from being resolved. So you have six possible options: your 2 Ashes, your 2 Called By, and 1 Crossout. Of course, you have going second tools like the Forbidden Droplet and triple Tactics Talent. And this is a very powerful going second tool because in some of the replays that you might see when I run this deck, because I don't have much replays, but some of the notable replays in this deck will involve using triple Tactics Talent to force out your opponent's plays or use one of the 3 powerful effects to your advantage. So since I don't really, the combo for this deck is pretty simple. You go into Appaloosa, you go into Curious to dump a point of the Red Lotus. From Curious, you go into Nightmare Griffin to, of course, get the Appointer back. But if you want to go full combo, you would have to have Appaloosa on top with Trigate Wizard at the bottom of it, co-link with Nightmare Griffin on the center, and of course, with 1 copy of SPYRAL Mission Rescue, bring back your double Helix onto the side, and that will be full combo. So yeah, of course, it's not always that you can pull the combo off, but it's worth trying when you do have the chance going first, which is why there were a lot of wins in the 10 game win streak, which enabled me doing that, and the opponent just scooped. But let's go into some more interesting duels. So let's just start with one of the first few replays from my climb to in this Duelist Cup. Now I don't really have many replays in Duelist Cup because again, it's a matter of, you know, if the opponent feels like you're wasting their time, they will just scoop even though you have not finished your combo. So in this first duel, I am gonna use my Dragon Ravine to dump the Destrudo into the graveyard. And then, of course, I see the Maxx being used by my opponent, so I don't have Ash Blossom because I was still running the 60 card deck, so I am just gonna end my turn. But I decided to do something else. I decided to activate the Secret Village of Spellcasters and Special Summon Master Plan, giving my opponent only 1 card, but putting my Master Plan on the field as like a body to take a hit. And as you can see, this proved to be pretty hilarious because my opponent is running Sprites, but they do not have the Sprite monsters in his hand to special summon out of this Dark Beckoning Beast. So all these spells are forced to be set face down. So knowing that, I am just gonna go into I'm just gonna try to add more bodies onto the board without having my Master Plan leave the field. For example, I'm doing this to bring out Nightmare Phoenix, which would allow me to pop one of the back row. which I did, and it was Spright Smasher. Now, I'm gonna link summon into Celine, which is also a spellcaster, so the Secret Village effect is still in place. And with Master Plan in the graveyard, we can go into SPYRALs, and I have not done my first normal summon of this turn. But with Master Plan, and of course with the Spiral Quick Fix, we can go into Spiral Double Helix and convincingly seal the game from here. Of course, that's provided the opponent doesn't scoop. I was doing a blind call to monsters, but I knew that it was probably going to be monsters because they're playing sprites, using Super Agent to pop another back row. Of course, my opponent just switched up that, so that is just the first game of Duelist Cup, using the Floodgate to your advantage. Of course, I know the word Floodgate will make people hate me a lot because Floodgates are terrible, but you know, this is one of the ways you can play SPYRALs in this 60 card deck. Now let's go on to the next two. In this duel, we are also going first as well, using Illusion of Chaos to get Magician Souls, and of course using Magician Soul effect to dump Master Plan, not before the opponent Maxx right here. So this is normally when I would want to stop my combo, but I do have the Spiral Resort, so I wanted to check what my opponent was playing, because they were running quite a number of cards, slightly above 60 cards in their deck. And I used my drone and I scouted out they are playing a very odd deck. They were playing this deck called Prediction Princess, which I've never seen before, but maybe because this is just the first stage of the Duelist Cup, so you know, you might find some interesting things. Of course, the Impermanence is gonna target the Magician Souls, but that's fine. So knowing that they're playing a Prediction Princess deck, and knowing that Prediction Princess is a ritual card, so I had the win condition of needing to bring Secret Village of Spellcasters onto the field so that I could lock him out from ritual summoning. Well, of course under Maxx, and of course this is all extremely risky, by the way, because I'm giving my opponents more cards, and you may never know when a Nibiru may show up in this deck, right? So of course we continue our combo, going to Celine, use Celine, get the Master Plan, you know, usual Spiral stuff, get a Mission Rescue. I predicted a monster and I called correctly, which was amazing, so I could go into Appaloosa, a 3200 Appaloosa. So now of course Nessie is gonna snipe itself and get Jacob, and Jacob is gonna snipe the Rod of Silence. So in this situation, like, it was very risky because I had Sleeper in hand, but of course the odds of sniping Sleeper is 25% based on my hand size, so I was willing to take the risk. So of course now we are able to continue the Spiral combo and dump the Mission Rescue and Revive Quick Fix to get the last resort. Now with 3 monsters on the field, I needed my Master Plan out so that we could go into 3 Dark Attribute monsters by Link summoning Quick Fix into Linkuriboh, and then go into Curious, which will allow me to dump Destrudo into the graveyard. But Ash Blossom came and I decided to negate the Ash Blossom. Now you might be thinking that's pretty risky, the opponent may be running Nibiru, but of course in this duel I did not see any prompts from the opponent's side when I was summoning all these while, so I had the feeling that they did not have Nibiru. That's why I confidently negated the Ash Blossom, and I was able to successfully get the Destrudo into the graveyard. And now we can go into Ancient Fairy Dragon and get the Secret Village of Spellcasters, and we're gonna use the second effect of Ancient Fairy Dragon, sorry, not really second, the first effect of Ancient Fairy Dragon, to special summon Mecha Phantom Beast or Lion. And now with that summon, we can link summon it, not link summon, synchro summon it to Power 2 Braver Dragon, which allows me to yoink 1 card from opponent's hand. And as you can see, they are playing Prediction Princess and they have a lot of spells. So of course my main objective is to try and get rid of as much of these spells, or at least like turn them off, hence the Secret Village of Spellcasters. Of course, there's one problem. If you have been, of course, I have been keeping track. There is no mission rescue in the graveyard, and I have no way of dumping this mission rescue into the graveyard unless I go into something like a barricade blocker. So I made the decision to not go into barricade blocker with my power 2 Braver and Curious, but instead use a summon sleeper out and set my spiral mission rescue, because I knew my opponent's hand, so maybe I could try and play around it. So of course they went and used Lightning Storm. I made a big misplay by doing that, because you know I did not realize that it wasn't an Omni Negate. It's my bad. So you know, I just stay into defense position. You know, everything gets gone. I only have a sleeper left, but that's fine. With Curious, I am going to try and get the Super Agent, Double Helix back into the deck, and he tries to call by me, but I was able to use this opportunity to reveal my Spiral Mission Rescue that I set earlier to get my Super Agent back onto the extra deck. So now my opponent is just gonna use his only call by in his hand to not get anything beneficial, because I already discarded the first call by. So now I'm just waiting for my opponent to summon something, which is now. So I could do that. Then I forgot to change the prompt to on. If not, I would be able to summon the mission, the master plan a lot earlier. But yeah, after destruction of that mission rescue, I could have special summon master plan and basically turn off all their spells. And as you can see right here, after summoning up master plan, they are not able to activate their spells, so they're just gonna scoop. So that's how I played around the Maxx. So let's just go into the next duel. So on this third duel, I am going first against a person who's playing a 16 card deck, and I still do not have any idea what deck they're playing. Of course, I am very fortunate to call right monsters, because when you're playing a 60 card deck, there is a very high chance you're gonna load it with a lot of monsters. So calling monsters is always like the general go-to right the call to make. So of course I'm able to bring up my double helix and bring up master plan, and we can go for some spiral combos from here. But there is a big but. My last resort's in the graveyard, so this is gonna be a bit tricky. Also, as you can see, I'm not running the deck I'm using in rank, but instead I'm running the one that I mentioned earlier that had triple tactics talent update. So the combo line is gonna be a bit different. Using Mission Rescue, I am gonna special summon up my Quick Fix and get the drones. Actually, I should have gotten the last resort. But no, I couldn't get the last resort. I could only get drones or Big Red. So I just took the drones, because what else could I take? Then I go into Celine. Celine is just gonna revive the master plan. Then we are going to go into the IP Masquerader, and this is a bit risky, special summoning Steeper without the last resort. And of course I set a droplet and 2 mission rescues, and I end my turn. I shuffle the last resort back into the deck so that I could draw it out later. So of course activate my mission rescue to get the super agent back, so that I can use it on my next turn with the drone and agent combo. So my opponent plays their punk card, I ash it, you know, just to negate the effect. Then they're gonna use triple tactics talent and draw 2 cards. Now that's... So of course I knew what 2 cards they were. Actually no, I don't know what 2 cards they have, because I didn't have my drone out. So at this point, when they summon out Deal Note, I decided to go into Nightmare Unicorn. And with Nightmare Unicorn, I discard my Super Agent to shuffle the Deal Note back into the deck. And then they end with Fusion Destiny to get Destroyer, Phoenix, Enforcer. So it's at this point where I'm need to figure out how am I gonna protect my sleeper. So I decided to pop one mission rescue, and I use droplet to negate the effect of the Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer. So now, of course, Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer being in the graveyard means it can be brought up again the next turn. My opponent sets a card, which I use this opportunity to special summon my Super Agent and pop that Red Reboot. Then I use the other mission rescue to bring my double Helix back into deck. So this is the versatility that you could try with the mission rescue. Even in this situation, there is some amazing benefits to it. Of course, I use this Link Summon to Appaloosa because, and sure enough, he tries to pop me. He tries to use his effect. Of course, I negate the effect with Appaloosa. Even though there's an attack drop, she still has enough to negate one effect. Then of course I used Mission Rescue to bring back my Super Agent so I could go into my Drone and Agent combo. And that's all done without me using Triple Tactics Talent yet, because I could have used that on that turn to gain even more advantage as well. So yeah, that was a duel that showcases the interesting things you can do with Mission Rescue. As you can see, I resolved that card multiple times during my opponent's turn. So let's just go into the next duel. So this is against a Floowandereeze deck, and first I went into Illusion of Chaos to get Magician Souls, you know, the usual. Special summon out the Magician Souls. So I made a slight misplay at first, because because I saw a prompt from opponent's side, so he has a way to negate my Magician Soul. So I thought maybe it was I'm not sure what I was thinking. I thought it was like some sort of negate. I mean, yeah, it is a negate, but I don't know what I was thinking. I decided to bait my opponent as such because I thought it was maybe something like Effect Veiler. So I dumped my Forbidden Droplet and the Mission Assault, because if it was an Effect Veiler, I could use Triple Tactics Talent. But unfortunately, it was Infinite Impermanence, which was why I thought I misplayed there. So now I have only one Ash, and that's the only possible negate on my opponent's turn. So I thought I made a mistake because the Forbidden Droplet is a very useful tool against Floowandereeze deck. So of course, in this situation, when he used his Pot of Extravagance, I tried to Ash it. And it's just gonna do Floowandereeze things right now. So let's just speed up the process of this, the combo that's doing. Robina to Eaglin, and then to Empen. Then with Empen, they're gonna search for the Dreaming Town. Is it Dreaming Town? Oh no, he did not search for Dreaming Town. He instead searches for the Floowandereeze and Unexplored Winds. Of course, in winning battle phase, destroyed my Magician Soul, so now it's back to my turn. And I only one Triple Tactics Talent in my hand. Of course, that's still a very useful card because Floowandereeze actively tries to resolve the effects on your turn. So there is no doubt that I'm able to use this card. It's just a question of what card is my opponent going to bring out with their trap card. So of course, I got my SPYRAL Resort, so I go into Quick Fix go into Big Red go into my Master Plan. And that's when he tries to use the Floowandereeze trap. So now this is where I believe he made a base play, because I think going into Apex Avian is much better, but you know, I digress. So he goes into Rise Up, but what he did was he made a mistake of tributing my Master Plan with the Unexplored Winds. So now my Master Plan is sent to the graveyard, and it could resolve its graveyard effect. If it were to just bounce the Master Plan like that without sending it to the graveyard, then I would be in bigger trouble. But anyways, let's just see how it goes. So of course he put my Quick Fix face down, so I can't use it for any link summoning. And of course my Resort and the Master Plan is shuffled back to the deck, but not before I get SPYRAL Resort and Super Agent back. And then that's when I had I had this idea. You see, Floowandereeze M pen has the effect that while this tribute summon card is in the monster zone, your opponent cannot activate the effect of special summon monsters. So I realized that I have an out. I am going to use Triple Tactics talent to take control of the M pen. First, I'm just gonna go into Mission Assault. Then I see my opponent's top deck, special summon monster, destroy the unexplored wins. Now this is when I use Triple Tactics talent to take control of M pen, because now that M pen is in my control, my double helix is able to resolve even though it's in attack position, because M pen is my card right now, and that's why my opponent surrenders. So yeah, this is the usefulness of Triple Tactics talent, and of course, comprehension is also one of the things you have to take note while playing the card. So let's just go into the last duel. So this last duel is me going second against Sprights. So of course I only have one form of disruption on their turn, and that's the Ash Blossom. So I've decided that I am going to use the Ash Blossom to negate the gigantic Spright. Yeah. But unfortunately they do have cross out, which really sucks. So now I am playing against a almost full combo Sprights, because they go into Elf, they go into Jet, they use Jet to go into Starter. Starter's gonna get rid of Carrot out. Yeah. Then they also have IP as well. So I'm gonna, and of course Gene Buster, yes. So I'm gonna try to break the board with my current hand, which is this. It doesn't seem impressive at first, but I somehow found a way. So the first thing I do is Preparation of Rites to get the Illusion of Chaos. So then I of course activate Illusion of Chaos to get Magician's Souls. They let me resolve the effect, which is great. My opponent misplays because I activate the effect of Magician's Soul and it tries to negate the effect by Gene Buster. Honestly, if he were to activate the effect like maybe one step a little bit earlier, it would hamper my plays a lot, but now that Master Plan's in the graveyard is good to me. So of course, they do not want Master Plan being summoned out, so they tribute the Gene Buster with Spright Carrot to negate and destroy my Big Red. A wise choice this time. So it's at this point where I thought that Elf doesn't give it any advantages. So I am going to use Triple Tactics to take over one of their monsters. Which, of course, I was attempting to take over IT Masquerena. But of course, they have other plans. They use IP to link summon out Topologic Zeraboros. Then, with the effect of Spright Elf, they summon Spright Starter onto the one corner of Topologic Zeraboros. But that due to the way summoning works, because Spright Elf was summoned before Triple Tactics Hell was resolved, so this effect of Zeraboros to banish all cards on the field was resolved later on in this, after the chain resolves completely right now. So when Spright Starter gets a Spright from the deck, now Zeraboros is just gonna banish everything. But that is totally fine, because as we see from the very beginning, the one card that my opponent has in his hand early on was not a Maxx, which meant with Drone and Agent, we can go into full combo. So they just cleared the board for me and I'm able to do my full Spiral combo. Of course, I can't go into the Spiral result now, but it's fine. Yeah. So just go into access code and just seal the game from here. Yeah, look at this, it's just pure advantage. and that's board breaking with spirals. So yeah, this is just the few duels I had in Duelist Cup. I didn't really play much, so I don't have any replays, but I hope that you guys learn a thing or two through the interesting replays I have. And here's to more spirals next month, because Big Fix is at 3. It's gonna be hype.